But we're going to Austin, Texas via KUT. Austin police fatally shoot unarmed teenager in what they say may be suicide by police. What they say may be suicide by police. You know, one of the greatest excuses cops can have to fucking murder people, the most convenient. He
was asking for it.
Which is, we're going to get into it. It's one of the most insane concepts employed by the police, police departments. But police officers killed an unarmed 17-year-old.
Reading from KUT.
Oh, sorry. I said that. But Austin, Texas via KUT. Austin police fatally shoot unarmed teenager in what they say may be suicide by police. Police officers killed an unarmed 17-year-old in Northeast Austin on Friday morning in what Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis characterized as potentially a suicide by police. The Austin Police Department responded to a 911 call at 3:51 a.m. Friday about a teen in a parking lot possibly brandishing a gun. Officers responded to the scene and found the 17-year-old black male on the playground at a community park in the 10100 block of Baden Lane. Davis said at a press conference on a Friday afternoon. So far, it's just
a black kid on a playground.
Very Tamir Rice coded. Body cam, except he's 17. Body cam footage released by APD on Friday shows officers approaching the playground and telling the teen to keep his hands up repeatedly. Shortly after, the teen appears to lift his shirt and reach for his waistband, and officers immediately fire multiple times, causing him to fall to the ground. Officers shoot again in response to the teen apparently moving on the ground. After securing the scene, Davis said the officers rendered aid until Austin Travis County EMS arrived. The teen died on the scene at 4:24 a.m. APD said it will release the teen's name after identification from the Travis County's medical examiner's office. Officers didn't find a gun on the scene. A water bottle was in the teen's waistband, Davis said.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, let's pause real quick. Sorry to interrupt. So the article... We know his name now. We mentioned it up top. Let me scroll back up. His name is Anthoneil Williams II, 17-year-old kid, and this is just unbelievable. Like you could look at the body camera footage. I don't recommend it. It's one of the worst I've ever seen, but it's quite literally unbelievable. So this kid is at this playground. They're immediately coming up with guns drawn. And they're immediately like saying commands like hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. He has his hands up. They're like already at 10 out of 10, right? He puts his hand down for 1 second. They don't do a good job describing it in this article. It literally sounds like 30 shots are fired. It literally, for 6 entire seconds, multiple gunshots. And not only is it like you're clearly trying to murder this kid, you're outside in public. There's other people around. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all thinking? There's a moment where the shots die down, and then, like it says in this article, I mean, listen to this sentence. Officers shoot again in response to the teen apparently moving on the ground. So after unloading, they see this kid has a sign of life. And what do? They start shooting again. And, like, I get, like, there's the fear of, like, and then, of course, he has no gun, unarmed, water bottle.
Also, it's Texas, where you can have a gun at the age of 18. It's a
great point.
I mean, his kid was 17, but if you can have a gun at the age of 18?
They didn't know he was
that's what I'm saying.
17.
Or that's what I'm saying right now. If I look at an 18-year-old, I'm not going to be able to differentiate him from a 17-year-old. So if an 18-year-old's allowed to have a gun, when you pull up on a 17-year-old, there's reason to stance that could be a grown man.
Yes, it's classic. That's a great point, because it's classic, like, police, like, retroactively kind of justifying their actions. Both saying, like, oh, it would have been illegal for him to have a gun now that we know he's 17. Yeah. Also, he was trying to do suicide by cop. Now that we killed him, that's something we could say. But, you want to keep...
And it's like he didn't even have a gun. So the gun thing is just...
Yes, he didn't even have a gun. You're right. He had a water bottle. Unarmed teenager.
I only mentioned it to undercut their point of he might have had a gun, which your response to it, if him having a gun was... If he was a legal gun-holding person... was irresponsible.
Yes.
It was just, but I will continue. APD said it determined that the initial 911 call came from the teen's phone. Audio from the call shared by police starts with the dispatcher asking if the caller needs police, fire, EMS, or mental health services. The caller responded with police. Police radio traffic audio released by APD indicates that the caller hung up and didn't respond to a follow-up call. All points are indicating that this was a suicide by police, David said, which is a strange thing to have. That the concept of suicide by police. That's like being like, you mean the people who are supposed to help you?
Yeah.
The niggas who are supposed to help you, you can just, that's just a thing?
Yeah.
That's like literally being like, wow, I was actually, he was burned to death by the firefighters.
It's such an absurd concept that we've all accepted. We all know this term suicide by cop. In what other scenario can someone point a gun at someone, kill them, and be like, that guy just committed suicide?
Yeah. And also the fact that it's a ubiquitous term that's just part of culture is insane in the sense of like, if you know your organization has a suicide issue, quote unquote,
Yes.
then you go to mitigate that. That little fucking suicide tower that's in Manhattan that was closed down for 6 months because niggas was like, yeet, and just fucking throw themselves off of the whole thing. They closed that because they were like, the organization, the installation was like, we clearly have a fucking suicide problem that we have to address.
Yeah.
And so we're going to implement guardrails, but the police have a suicide problem that they need to address, and there's just no guardrails implemented. There's just like, and there's even no examining how it's possible that suicide. Why? How is that? Why is that a thing? Oh, it's because you guys fucking walk in there. You guys have no like. You have this shoot anything that moves mentality.
Yep. It's a great point. The fact that they use it as like a justification, like, okay, even if someone wants to kill themselves in this way, it's still inexcusable.
Yeah.
Like your
What the fuck are
job
you doing?
is not to kill people who are going through a mental health crisis. 'Cause that's essentially all it is.
Yeah.
So I've talked about this before, but if you are interested in this topic, California Law Review recently put out, it's like less than a year old, this detailed study on this topic of quote unquote suicide by cop. And they basically, their findings are, while there are real cases of this, they're not saying this never happens. They're saying there are probably real cases of this, but it seems like the police are able to use this as a legal tactic so often where they'll go to court and they'll literally have police defense lawyers come up and imagine this. Imagine your son was killed by the police, and now the defense lawyers are coming up and saying, well, look, did you know that her son was seeing a therapist? Mm-hmm. Did you know that their son once expressed that they were depressed? Mm-hmm. So he wanted us to kill them, and we're innocent of any wrongdoing. Like, that seems to happen much, much, much more often than someone legitimately trying to get the cop to kill them.
Yeah, every time you interact with the police, you have to go up against their projection of fear that they just exude, and like they're just fucking tweaked out. And it's like, why do we constantly call out these fucking squirmy, freaked out, tweaked out murderers to come help us? I don't get why we keep doing that. They're like, oh no, I need help. Let me call this fucking terrified man who's scared to walk in, so he needs to lead with a gun because he's scared of his life. All right, I got my gun first. Who needs help? It's like,
exactly.
Okay, well,
exactly, because like the defense, what the police is saying right now, and I'll admit there is some validity to this, like very little, but I will acknowledge it. So they're saying that that kid called them, and he maybe someone else, other people called and said that maybe this kid has a gun. So they were worried that this kid might have a gun. Now remember, he did not, but he had his hands up, and then he starts reaching down, and that could be a scary moment for a cop. But going what you said, in what world is this a professional task force where in that moment they all just start unloading their guns? Remember, they're outside in a public place, in what world is this normal and acceptable for all these guys to just be blindly unloading their guns, killing this kid, and then once he starts moving, they start shooting again?
Yeah, no, the mentality behind
Unacceptable.
Mentality behind it is like it's just plain evil. To be able to commit those acts is like acts of evil in the guise of like that they're helping people is even worse. It's like to proceed with shooting a body, you have to have like it ain't courage. It's like
it's the opposite. Living in absolute fear, driven by racism and complete lack of regard. And absolutely just lunacy.
Man, they just get to come around and do a gang murder and kill a kid in the worst way fashionable, and then just walk away with like as if we're not supposed to look at them like they're psychos.
Yeah,
like they're just like they don't have like we're just supposed to look at them like they're normal and the same. Like okay, all right, next day. No, nigga, y'all shot up, y'all got together and fucking murdered a kid.
Killed a kid.
Unarmed kid. With just fucking rounds and rounds of bullets. Y'all are psychos.
Yeah.
This is in any other time in the Wild Wild West, nigga, the town would have like had to be like, we need to hire a fucking some bandits or something to get these fucking ruffians out of. This is absurd. But no accountability in because we just are supposed to accept this as a everyday part of life.
Yeah. So R.I.P. to Anthoneil Williams II, and we'll definitely keep y'all updated on this story. It obviously just happened, and so once things start coming together, we'll go back to it.